Hi, I'm photographer David Flores, and today we're taking a look at the top mistakes that photographers make. Now, these are all easily avoidable. We got a great list together from our pros at B&H. Let's get right into it. Number one, and this may seem so obvious, but familiarize yourself with your camera. Know your camera. How do you change shutter speed? How does one change the aperture value, the ISO? Changing white balance, being familiar with that's very important. Can you dial in the Kelvin for a more specific type of shot? There's features in there that can help you make the shot that you may not even know are there. The electronic level, gyroscope, checking exposure with your histogram. These are all things, whether you're just starting out or you're working a professional job, that can help you. Know your camera. So, mistake number two, choosing the wrong lens. You always want to make your lens selection in a way that will most flatter your subject. So, if you're shooting portraiture with a wide angle, that might cause distortion. Can bend things out, may make your subject look a little off. If you use a telephoto lens, you'll be able to compress foreground and background, and really bring your subject right off of the background. Likewise, if you're shooting architecture, having more context can be a great thing. Their wide angle is everything. It lets you get more details and fit the context of the frame together. If you're shooting with a telephoto, you're really sacrificing that context just to focus on a few small details. Oof. Common mistake number three, shooting in the wrong kind of light. You know, earlier today, a few hours ago, there was nice cloud cover, light was soft. Now the sun is right over the top of us. It's beating down really hard, which is blowing out all of the highlights. All this shadow is happening underneath of my eyes, under my nose. It's not really super flattering for a portrait. It's also not very comfortable for a subject or as a shooter. So for a more flattering portrait, getting up earlier where the sun hasn't peaked in the sky yet, or shooting a little bit later as it's starting to descend, that really creates a softer, warmer, more diffuse type of light. It's also a lot more comfortable to shoot in. Now, a cloud has literally just come in front of the sun, and that's softened things. So now, right now, would be a great time to make the shot. Oh, coming back out. I'm melting. All right, common mistake number four, not employing the rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is excellent for making a legible, readable composition. Whether you're shooting a landscape or a cityscape, it's very easy to compartmentalize the land, the sea, and the air. And if you're wanting to experiment, rule of thirds is fantastic for that as well, because you can experiment by moving the camera up or down, playing with the thirds, or moving left to right to find the best placement for your subject. Mistake number five, shooting JPEG only. Now, I love JPEG files. They're great for delivering to social media. Even for certain professional applications, it becomes the finishing format, but that's just it. It's just a finishing format. RAW files provide an incredible amount of headroom for you to change things up in post-production. Having that RAW file gives you the option to recover highlights, open up shadow detail, customize your white balance, even change things like sharpness, contrast in post-production. RAW files give you the maximum amount of flexibility to future-proof your work. Mistakes are an incredible part of the learning experience. There's a lot of ideas, a lot of rules to photography, and over time, once you've mastered those, you have to break them. That's an important part of developing your style and becoming a photographic artist. The number of mistakes that a photographer can make seem endless. Put yours in the comments below. We want to hear from you. I'm photographer David Flores. See you next time.